Alright, YouTube family. Alright, YouTube family. It's your host, Gaming Odyssey, coming to you guys with another Master Duel show. So, I know most of you have been asking yourself, okay, you know what? I like the loner decks. I want to play them. What are they about? And the main reason why I'm coming to you guys with this is because, I've seen on other channels that people are asking this question. So I said, you know what? Let me be part of the solution to this problem. So, with that said, let's jump right into it. Now, before anybody starts playing uh, pendulums, and I know some of you have not really played pendulums, you have to remember pendulums as a scale. Okay. Now, if you look at most pendulum cards, you're gonna see this thing here. It's called a one. This is just like part of the pendulum scale. Okay. This is what you're looking at when you're dealing with pendulum scales. So look at this. It has an 8. Look at this. It has a 7. So what do these numbers mean? These numbers are a way for you to actually summon out cards that have a level. So this is the level here, okay? This is a level. A level that is between the two scales. So for instance, now I drop this as an 8, okay? And I drop this as a 7. If I dropped an 8 and a 7, I've already messed up my scale. I cannot summon anything because there's no number in between those numbers, right? But let's look at this card now. Let's look at this card now. This is a 1 and this is an 8, okay? So basically I can summon a number that is between 2 and 7. So if a card is 7 or or lower up until 2, then you can actually summon it. Okay, so that's how you look at it. So between 1 and 8 means any number between two of them, not the number at that number, but the number between two of them, you can actually summon. So from 2 to 7, you can actually summon cards that actually have a level, okay, of that. Okay, so now with the new decks, what are you actually making? So the thing you're going to come across is this. You're going to be able to make this card, this Starving Venom, quickly because it requires only 2 dark pendulum monsters. And if you actually look at the whole pendulums, you actually see many of them are just dark monsters. So the moment you have 2 of them on the field, you already game. All right. Now, many of the times you don't have to really worry about this odd eyes or whatever it is. Many of the time you're often sending them out maybe to get a card or to tribute someone, stuff like that. I mean, there's not much you can actually get from them, in my personal opinion. I mean, sure, if you summon them, you might get a kick out of it, but many of the times, they're easy to get rid of, I would say. So I don't really put my hopes on them. The main card here is actually Supreme Z Arc, which you can actually get out, and the way to get them out is through this this trap card. Okay. Now, let's go over the deck quickly, and for me to just show you guys your bread and butter. Okay, what you need to be getting out, what you need to be using in order to be proficient at using this deck. Now, I'm just gonna tell you guys that many of the good cards that you can actually have in this deck have been cut out. That for me personally, that I would use, but what they have here is it's okay to get to by maybe for the first maybe 10 levels or something like that of the distance. So let's push on. For this card, I don't use this. Is not my go-to card whenever I'm doing scales. I barely use this card. This card you use if you want to do scales. That's number one, from maybe from 2 to 6, because it's a 7, so you can only summon from 2 to 6. Okay, so if you want to from 2 to 6, you can actually use this card, but I actually use this card most of the time to destroy trap cards or other cards or other distance on the field. So think about it like a storm. Okay, that's what it's used for. It's like a storm, like a storm or a wind distance that usually destroys just one card in the back row. Okay, so you use it to just destroy the back row. This card you use to draw a card. So this is a card you use to draw. So it's something that you would use, let's just say maybe you are doing the second phase or the first phase in order to get another card onto your hand. Let's say you don't have enough to complete your skills, then you would push out this card in order for you to get one card in. This card does two things. It basically allows you to pendulum someone because it's a high level, it's an 8, okay, and at the same time it allows you to get pentagraph. All right, so it does two things. So that's the only way for you to get them, for you to get a pentagraph. Is one of the best ways to get pentagraph. And if you have pentagraph, that is also another partial storm for you, you know, or a tornado twister, whatever it is, something just to destroy the back row. All right, it doesn't really only just destroy back row; it can also destroy monsters also. So that's one of the things. It's very versatile in the way it's being used in the system, in the game. Okay. This card is very good at bringing back your cards to your hand. That's one of the things I really enjoy about it. Yeah. So for me, it's just about bringing back cards to my hand. And sometimes, let's just say I use pentagraph to destroy this card, and for me to be able to maybe draw another card in my, you know, from my graveyard. That's the main thing about it. So many times when you're trying to fusion someone, your pendulum monsters might go to the graveyard. This card is just to bring it back. Okay, recycling. This is the only tuner in the whole deck. So this tuner is being used basically to summon this card. That's what it's used for. And when you summon this card on the field, you can destroy almost all the face-up cards that the opponent has. That's what you use it for. Okay, so this is your only tuner in the deck. This card is also another destroyer. So basically, you use this one to destroy somebody else's deck, be it a monster, be it a back row. It's basically, you can pop things at the back. And again, when you're moving, when you're actually attacking, this card can actually give your monster 1200, and then at the same time destroy destroy itself and then destroy another monster on the field. This card is good for calling these cards. This card also, it allows you to do a couple of other shenanigans, you know, be draw a card, or you know, stuff like that. So it has some good purposes in the deck. This card, I don't usually worry about it. I don't even bother myself. This card, you can actually summon it when you destroy a card on the field. This card, I use it to reset my scales. This card, I use it to basically do some to basically go beyond the pendulum. It's one of the cards I usually go to if they haven't destroyed the other card. You know, so I use it to get my beyond the pendulum, and then pendulum. And then you have this card which is used to complete the scales. It's used to complete the scales, but you have to remember there's one thing that's associated with this card, is that if you already have a monster on the field, don't put this card. If not, your hand is going to be busted at that point, so don't do it. Okay. Other than that, the rest you guys already know the rest. This card you already know is one of the very good cards used to destroy back row. So this deck is just built for destroying back row on the field, man. Seriously. You already know, you're already familiar with this. I don't need to explain that. You already know what the Ice Prism is. Basically get one card from your monster. You already know what this card is. I told you guys before, it's just to summon this card. This card, you already know what it is, so I'm not going to say anything. This card, the main reason why you want to you want to have this card is to use Beyond the Pendulum. And when you use Beyond the Pendulum, you can actually destroy two hold on. Yeah, you can use it to basically just get maybe one card into your hand. You know, that's the main thing. I think that's about it. Just Beyond the Pendulum, that's what you use it for. Okay, or you could actually use it for this one. For me, I don't use it for this one because it's not really that great. But you could use it for, so this card, you can use it for this, or you can use it for this. Those are the only two things that I would recommend anybody use them for. But other than that, that's it. You're really familiar with this guy, you know, so I'm not going to say anything. This one, it destroys all monsters on the field, all face-up monsters. This card, you use it to draw. This card, you use it to destroy stuff on the field that is higher than you. This card, you already know what it is. This card, you already know what it is. This card, So there's one thing about this card is like when you summon it, it gives you the opportunity to basically take 1200 life point damage, and at the same time summon basically add one pendulum card to your hand. So which is very good basically. So it's more like a way for you to grab a card in order to complete your pendulum, so you can pendulum someone. Do not pendulum someone. One thing about this card is do not, under no circumstance, pendulum someone before you summon this card. Do not do it. Rather, summon this card before you pendulum someone. So this card is usually a good go second, or let's just say maybe during your second turn, then you actually pendulum summon this card and destroy your opponent's back row, because many of the time they're not going to be running things that are going to destroy back row, okay? And then this card is just to push something back. You guys already know what it is. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's see some of the games I've already played associated with it, and then we'll go from there. Let me see this card. Let's go ahead and check the replay out. Oh, sorry. This is just another deck that I'm playing, so just watch this one. I'll show you guys the pendulum one. But I consider this deck a little bit better than the pendulum one that they have, because this one is just strictly magicians. Stops me. Damn. What a good board I would have set up for him. Puts me down just like that. And that's all she wrote for this one. Now let's get right into it and let's play the game. So this is how you're gonna learn how to play this deck. All right, let's go get in here. All right, guys. So as you guys can see, this is the hand I got. Okay. We chronograph, we got poison, we've got odd eyes, and so on and so forth. So you guys don't really know what the play is. Here I have my 1, right, which is right here. This one is an 8, which means I can put it there to summon this guy, right? But that's not what I'm gonna do. Let's go, let's get on with it. And you guys already know why I did what I did, right? It's because I didn't have enough cards to start going into this rumble. So I decided I was going to keep this card here and keep this card here. Now, if you look at this thing, it says at the end of the turn, you can actually destroy this card in order to get another card to your hand. So it says during your end phase, you can destroy this card, and if you do add one pendulum monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck to your hand, you can only use the pendulum. So that's why I use it there, okay? Alright, let's move on. So now I get this card. But this pendograph actually activated, so I can actually summon it. And then this guy now does this thing. It pisses me off, man. Now if you guys know why he couldn't attack, it says it cannot. Okay, so So he decided that it was better for him not to attack me at all, so that we, you know, if we don't have cards here, he knows that I can still resummon my card. So that's the reason why he didn't attack me. Bring her beyond the pendulum, as you can see, which allows me now to actually take 1200 to bring her the card, and then he says no. That's one of the points that is pissing me off about the deck. Can't do anything. I can't destroy anything. I can't destroy anything. So now I gotta go to the next stage, which is this card. Was that a mistake? I didn't think so. I thought he won't have the same card, but he still had another card. Dark Prison. And then he has Dinotopia. So basically he just messed me up now. I'm like, oh no, what is this? So basically, you guys can actually watch two of the decks that they've actually made here. You know, for this thing, you can see. I think this is the second deck that's out there. So basically, you're seeing the power of the other deck. Mistakes were made. There you go. There you go. Bam. 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 Pentagraph. And that was all she wrote. As you guys can see, that's how you play the deck. And I think this is gonna be the last one. Well, I want you guys to really understand something, okay? That this deck actually can do a 2-turn kill, okay? A 2-turn kill. So just remember that the second turn it can kill you. So this is the perfect hand you want to have. Just for your information, if you have this, you've got the perfect hand. Okay? Alright, let's go. And that's it. That's all she wrote, folks. So the deck is not that hard to learn. It has maybe about 3 to 4 combos that you just need to know about, but other than that, it's still good, you know, either way. But like I said, guys, it's up to you guys what you guys want to play. So the next card I'm going to be playing, rather than using that, is going to be, I'm going to pick up this card, Amazing Attraction, and then I'm going to see how well I can play the deck. So yeah, that will be for the next episode, guys. Alright guys, it's been fun. I'll see you guys on the next episode of Master Duel. Until then, take it easy, guys. Cheers.